Hello and welcome back to another episode of Vikings Happy Hour, sponsored by Lake Monster Brewing, Eastside Jiu-Jitsu, and That's Badass Wood Art. Remember to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel to help us grow. Yeah, that's all I have for like the normal stuff, but let's get into the fun stuff. We are joined today by Captain Josh Metellus, second year now in a row. Josh, how are you, man? It's been a little bit.
Yeah, I'm great. Thank you guys for having me again. I would say definitely on a bit of a high right now, being voted captain, especially heading into our first week of the season too. You got all these jitters, everything's coming into fruition. So, I think just trying to keep my emotions down, try not to get too excited, ahead of the big game.
Can you walk us through just kind of how the captain announcement kind of goes? Because I know last year when you were announced captain, it was after O'Neal went down. It's a little bit different probably than before the season. So if you could walk us through how that whole announcement went, how you were feeling, what the team's response was, and go from there.
So we vote for captains. We voted for captains. On Wednesday morning or Wednesday afternoon, like 12 or 1 o'clock, coming to a team meeting. KO reminded us beforehand, that we would, and they give out a sheet of paper. You just write guys' name down. It's totally anonymous. You don't put your name on it or anything. You write down 8 names, and then we hand the papers in. And then fast forward later throughout the day, we go to practice. And by the time practice is finished, we come up in the huddle after practice. Then he announced it, and he goes through, he names everybody. Mine was the last name. And I was just super excited, man. I think being named captain of a team, I think that's one of the biggest honors you could get playing this game. You do it for the people in the locker room, you do it for your brothers you play with. So to have that respect from them guys, especially knowing the guys you got on the team, it means a lot.
Yeah.
Did you anticipate that? Like, obviously, you got voted a captain at the end of last year when O'Neal went down. Were you anticipating becoming a captain this year? I mean, obviously, it's voted on. It's an honor.
I would say. I would say it's definitely a goal of mine. Like, I would say, of course, I anticipated it because it's a goal of mine. I anticipate to reach all my goals, and I think just being a leader on the team. You got young guys coming up to you, calling you captain anyways. Like, they call me Cap anyways. And then, and then once KO said we were going to vote, had people coming up to me say, yeah, you got my vote kind of thing. So, I had a bit of a feeling, but, same thing was happening last year. But last year, I didn't end up getting it to the end of the season. So, being able to, just be, just hope for the best really. And hope, a dream came true, which it did. It was really, kind of, I knew, but then again, it still felt great knowing, that it still happened.
Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, Josh, so just kind of expanding on a little bit, obviously year 4 is a big year for you. Like, besides the contract, you're going to be in a bigger role in the defense. I know last time we talked, it was right before training camp. So you weren't 100% sure what that role is going to look like.
Yeah.
Did you expand a little bit more on like what that new role is for you in the Flores defense?
Yeah. I would say just, being able to, be multiple in our sets, whether that's me in the slot, whether that's me in the box, or me back deep at safety. Different curveballs to throw against the offense. I think realistically my role is going to change throughout the week, depending on who we're playing. But I can say, it's just a lot of movement on my end. A lot of different learning spots, but it's definitely a good thing for me.
How comfortable you feel playing in like the nickel, the slot role compared to like the deep safety or even in the box?
I like it. I think I'm getting more comfortable the more reps I take. I think it's helped the past 3 years. Prior to this one, I was like dabbling in it a little bit in practice. Last year, the past 2 years before this one, I actually played a game at nickel before. So, I've gotten in game feel. So, and then the joint practices, I would say really help, going against, full speed against another team. I would say I'm pretty comfortable though. I think all of it is just really just playing football, and I'm comfortable doing that.
You ready to lock up JJ in the slot too? Then
yeah, I have to.
If I have to.
How's the body feeling? Training camp is now done, and that's kind of the ramp up period before you really hit the ground running. How you feeling overall?
I feel great. I think KO and Tyler Williams and Uriah, they do a great job of setting up our plan. Like we had basically where, our biggest work weeks were the Arizona Cardinals week. Like we took the most reps. We took all camp, in that week, and it was kind of a build up. So, they did a great job, getting our bodies used to the type of stuff we're going to see and getting ready to play a football game. I think this extra week definitely helps you get your body back resetted, and then not playing in the preseason games does a lot because you get a lot of days of recovery. We from Thursday, you get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we'll probably practice again on that. We was practicing like 2 days after the first game. After the game. So I would say just the schedule they had. Body feels great. I think everybody's ready to roll, especially heading into this next week, which is going to be a big week of preparation for us.
I bet TJ Hawkinson's healthy too. He's probably feeling pretty good too, huh?
He probably got the freshest legs out of all of us.
Can you walk us through, because every football player has their routine for game week, right? You come off the game and you just go into a sequence of habits that you've kind of built up. What is Josh Metellus's routine for an NFL season week over week?
We depends on when we play. Well, usually Sunday game, you got Monday and Tuesday is really like your refresh, reset days. You watch the tape from the game prior. You recover, which is for me massage. A little bit of Pilates, like activating the body. Small workouts. Just to get the body going again. Then you go Wednesday, Thursday, or for me probably like my biggest, I would say, conditioning days where I would like to get my body to the fullest speeds I can get it to before I start working myself back down, before I got to be back up on Sunday. Fridays, we call it Fast Fridays because it's really just a get in, get out. But like Fridays for me, it's probably more mental, where I'll meet with position coaches, go over a little bit extra. We on Fridays we meet as a special teams unit, just like a player led thing that me, CJ, and Depot do. We bring all the guys together. We go over some stuff, have Coach Hat make a tape for us, and we just get the guys together, and like no coaches involved, just us. We just talk through some things. And then Saturdays is just really kind of like that right now, like the calm before the storm. You kicking it with the guys. We're 10 times out of 10 in a hotel, so we're with each other, hanging out, going to dinners. Just relaxing the mind. Getting ready to go to war on Sundays. Well, I would say I got a pretty good routine. I think whatever I need a little bit extra or need a little bit less, I definitely cater to that. But it just depends on how you feel and how you're performing on Sundays, because that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a question just kind of going back to like this week, right? So this week, a little less stressful for you, I'm assuming, than it was back in 2020 and 2021, right? But I want to kind of go back to those years, right? So you're, a later round pick, right? You're on the bubble to make the roster. 2020, you actually do get waived to go to practice squad. You get called back up a couple weeks later, which is fantastic. But what was going through your head through that process? And then the next year, right, you have to kind of go through that again a bit, but now you make the roster. Can you just kind of walk us through that? Because some of the most fascinating stories I listen to around this time of the year are those guys who are the roster bubble guys and then getting that relief of making the team or getting called back up for the practice squad.
Yeah, it's funny that you asked. I joked with my position coach this week, was saying like how I got PTSD from these past 2 days. Like really specifically, I'm talking about Monday and Tuesday, like those, like the day before the cuts, the day of the cuts. Because my rookie year, really kind of crazy, because that was the one year I thought I was gonna make the team, and I actually didn't. Off the 53. So that one was like a slap in the face, in terms of like I just didn't expect it. When I got that phone call, it was like, oh, like this is real. Like this is where the league is like not everybody sees, and from then it was like trying to like build that mindset that until I prove myself in this league, this is probably going to be an every year thing. At that time I was like, I'm a special teams guy. So, until I work my way on the field on defense, I'm going to have to earn my spot strictly playing special teams. So the next year we had a different special teams coach. So, I was trying to prove myself to him, and I end up, this is 2021. I end up getting hurt before the last preseason game before we go play the Chiefs. And I couldn't play in that game. I actually had an ankle injury, bad one, that I ended up playing through the whole year with. But I didn't know if I was going to make the team because I only played 2 preseason games. So that was another time where, it was for me, like probably me and my wife, because I would say my wife is my biggest supporter, and she's almost as anxious as me, around that time, and just this whole business, you're never really safe. So it's just a lot of anxiety going into it. And last year, same thing, new defensive coach, new special teams coach. So, it was a never-ending process that I was kind of like getting myself used to. Like, as long as I know I go ball out and I have the tape, that like it doesn't even matter if I do get cut. Like, I know I can play somewhere else. So this year was the first year, where it wasn't on my mind. But the fact that it wasn't on my mind, I started to think about everybody else on the team that, that's in my position that I used to be in. So, it was kind of me just reaching out to all the younger guys and, trying to tell them, like, get ready, for emotions to be everywhere, get ready for the unexpected, trying to guide them through the process, reaching out to them when things happen. Like, I remember one of our rookies who was on the practice squad when he got cut, I went to see him before I went into meetings that day because, he's at the hotel, and the hotel right next to the facility. So, I went and talked to him a little bit right after he got cut, right before I had to go in. And, just trying to do anything I can to pass on my experiences to help, ease somebody else's mind, because that process is crazy. You got some guys who go from here and then go on to a whole nother team. Got guys get traded, picked up somewhere else. It's just a crazy business. But yeah, I would say it's definitely a part that people don't see. They see you smile all the time, and, thinks everything's all golden, but this business could get rough, and I've definitely been on the wrong end of that.
Well, I love to hear that you're taking on that mentor role, right? Like you got guys like Jalen Williams, CJ Colton, undrafted guys who are, trying to make the team, and then you're, kind of taking them under your wing and giving them some advice. So that's great.
Yeah, Josh, how obviously you guys are keeping 6 safeties this year, which feels pretty wild to me. Like, how tight of a group are y'all? Because I know most position groups, like, that's usually the people you hang out with the most. Like, I know when I was in college, the wide receiver room and stuff like that. What's that like for you in a safety room or DB room as a whole?
I would say it's great. I mean, my rookie year, we kept 2 safeties on the final 53, and and I wasn't one of them. So, just from that to being here now, where we have 6 safeties on the roster, all guys who've played together except for Jay, and I think Jay Ward fits right in with the rest of us. I think me and Jay Ward we're locker mates, and I think he's probably my favorite rookie. Don't tell the other ones. But, just because I spend the most time with him. We right next to. He actually doesn't even live too far from me either. So I think we have a great room top to bottom, and I think the fact that me, Bynum, and Tutu have been together for 3 years, and our relationship is just getting stronger and stronger. And then you add in guys like Theo and Lou, young guys who've been here for only a year, but it feels way longer. You add guys like that with great personalities, and then you bring in another young guy like Jay. We just all have no choice but to mesh well. And we definitely spend a lot of time together. I would say the 2 people I'm probably closest with on the team are Bynum and maybe Theo. Because we're just all around the same age, kind of grew up a certain way. Especially me and Bynum. I think me and Bynum have a lot of similarities. Just the way we think, the way we go about certain things. And, we've been together 3 years. So we've been young guys, and we've been, working our way into now our leadership roles. So I think, we have a great room. And I think us keeping 6 safeties just shows how deep we are.
Also 3 undrafted free agents this year. And I know that I've seen some Instagram stories from you doing Pilates with Andre Carter. So that's got to be cool to see him make the final 53.
Just seen him at Pilates.
What can you say about kind of Ivan Pace? What have you noticed from Ivan Pace as another undrafted free agent who made the team? Because he's kind of the buzz of social media, at least in kind of his ascension to, the first team defense.
Yeah, I would say for guys like that, I would say, it's kind of like the same position I was in, is just capitalizing on your opportunities. You got a guy like IP who had a lot of buzz coming out, was supposed to be this whatever draft pick, failed due to, just all the politics stuff. But a guy who can play ball, and I would say this league is more about opportunity than talent. Like what you do with your opportunities means more than what you say you can do on paper. So I think for a guy like him, you get a guy like BA go down, and he has to step up and take some more reps for him to do what he's done. And show he can build trust within Coach Flo. I think it just goes a long way. I'm excited to see what he does this year. I mean, obviously the work's not done. He has a lot to do, to prove himself in this league. He has a lot to do to prove himself, within our locker room. We gotta know we could trust Ivan on Sundays. But I think he's headed in the right direction. He has a great head on his shoulders. Loves the game. You can tell by the way he just approaches it. He's a quiet dude. But if you get him, if you get close to him enough, he opens up and he has a great heart. So I'm excited to see him play. I just want to go out there and I think he's a dog, and when a group of dogs go out to hunt together, I think it's a fun thing. So I'm excited to go out there and play with him.
I love it.
That's great. How do you feel? Obviously, there's 6 safeties being kept, but there's 4 cornerbacks. I know Joanne Williams is on the practice squad, but how do you guys feel like with that entire DB room only having 4 corners? Like, how do you guys feel like if you have to go play outside corner if something happens, right? Like, how do y'all feel about that?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I would say the fact that we're all so versatile, I think it eases a lot of everybody's mind. I would say corner is the position you would like to be deep at. But, I think the way we just play defense and the way, things are going to shake out, us being able to be multiple in our sets, would take away from a lot of stress, on the outside. And I think, just us keeping, safeties who play corner like Jay and Beasley, like you got 2 guys who played corner, before they even play safety, probably played corner longer than they play safety. So, it would never be too much to ask one of those guys to fill in for a game. But, our practice squad, we got Jalen and we got Jawan and we got CJ. So, we got some guys. I wouldn't say, it's more of a, we're not nervous about it. It's just, it's just different. It's something that we're not used to. Is always the other way around. So I think for us, it's just leaning on each other. We got guys, some of our corners, not all of our corners even play strictly just corner. We got Murph that moves inside, Kai can play inside and out. So, it's just, we're all multi, so I think we're all just DBs. So, the fact that we got 11 DBs, I think that's more what we're focused on.
Yeah, and don't let me disrespect Najee because I know he made the squad, but he's still obviously working to become a corner and more of a true special teamer right now. But
had to get him to change that number.
I was wondering.
Yeah,
that number changes out.
Yeah, I told me to get out of that.
Did he change it?
Yeah, he's 11 now.
Okay. I have a couple more questions for you, just very broadly, but I want to ask you about the whole team in general. So obviously last year coming off 13 wins, 11 one-score win games, it was quite impressive, your resiliency as a group. Obviously this is a new group, but I don't know how much you listen to outside media, but a lot of people are giving Detroit the upper hand to win the NFC North. What are your thoughts on just that in general? And yeah, we'll just leave it right there. I won't expand on it.
Yeah, I would say just like you ask anybody, I think once you get to the top spot, is always people wanting somebody else to take it. And we're as of right now, we still hold the crown of the NFC North. And Detroit has to come through us, to come get it. So, our mindset is, we knew the type of team we were last year. We won 13 games. A lot of it came down to us just, being better in the final minute than other teams, and some people might not like it, but in our eyes, it was, we were better when we had to be. And I think, that just having that mindset and just having the mindset that we got better this year, like, a lot of people don't think that, like you said, the outside noises, but as a whole in our room, in our organization, we know we got better than we did last year. So if 13-4 was our floor last year, I can only imagine what the ceiling is this year. And, obviously the North is our number one goal. That's the first thing where we want to start to reach our ultimate goal. But I think, that's just noise. I mean, at the end of the day, they got to show up, September, whatever Thursday is next week. They got to show up and, put on their shoulder pads and helmet, and they got to show they could, win the NFC just like on September 10th. We got to show we could too. So it's just going to come down to us playing football. And I think, we don't play them for so long that it's like, I'm not even worried. I'm not even worried about that. I'm really just, focused on, going to Tampa, and getting this first part of the schedule just taken care of, so we can set ourselves up for a good run.
I would love if you could get a pick off Baker Mayfield, just because Ryan.
See, I was just about to say something.
Everyone.
I was just about to say something. Yeah, I was saying, hey, I don't want Baker to throw too many picks, but if it's to us and specifically to you, I'll be all right with it. I'm an Oklahoma guy, so I got to cheer for my OU boys.
I would say something like you had him on fantasy. I'm like, you ain't trying to win.
I do got him. I do. I do got him in some dynasty leagues, but that's just because he's forced into action. That's why.
Yeah, don't take him week 1.
I love it.
How y'all feel going into that game though? Like obviously, I would assume you guys have started preparing for Tampa now. Like, how do you feel? And obviously, you're not going to give us too many secrets, but like, how do you guys feel heading in so far?
I mean, I think it's going to come down to us, just like last year, week 1 did. At the end of the day, like, there's no real scouting reports. You don't know what a team switched up, what they're going to do. So it really just comes down to how prepared are you, how much of a unit are you, and what you're going to be able to put on the field on Sunday. So I think, as a team, we definitely feel connected. Obviously, next week is going to be a big part of just our preparation and how we get ready for games, because we haven't had that yet. But I think if we attack next week the right way and we attack it about us instead of them, I think, we're going to be in a great spot, because at the end of the day, it's going to come down to us anyways. I think we're obviously in the right mindset, and I think, it's just going to come down to us playing the better football.
I do want to ask you, so you play the Bucks on September 10th, and then you turn around and go to Philly for a Thursday night game. What are your thoughts on Thursday night games? I feel like maybe early in the season it's probably better.
Yeah, we don't like them. That's just top to bottom throughout the locker room. I think that turnaround is just crazy, Yeah. But we're all excited for this one, because I'm not going to speak for everybody, but I'm going to speak for me. I want my payback.
Yeah,
I left that stadium with a nasty feeling, and definitely felt like, this year is going to be the complete opposite. So I'm excited to go out there and definitely revamp what we lost last year. But I'm excited. I mean, Thursday night primetime against the Super Bowl contender. So I would say, it's definitely a great Thursday, even though, sometimes the Thursday games could be iffy. But hopefully we don't get flexed throughout I know they talked about, I think we have like a couple to be determined at the end of the season. So we'll see what they do with those games. But we don't like the Thursdays. just for your body, like long run, like the Thursday game's definitely gonna keep me from playing catch a couple minutes longer with my son when he gets older. But those turnarounds are crazy.
I always wondered why they didn't do like give you a bye week and then have a Thursday night game. Like that would make like more sense. But to go Sunday to Thursday, just
because if you have a bye week and then play Thursday and then you don't play again for another Sunday, you basically play 2 games in a month.
Yeah, then you're way out of practice a little bit.
Yeah.
So, Miles, Ryan, anything else here for Josh before we let him go?
How often are you on that Peloton? Because I've been getting into it, and I'm gonna have to add you and see if I can at least get like half of your score, because I know I'm not gonna be able to compete.
Trust me, my scores aren't that good, but I'm on it pretty much all the time. That's like one of my first things I do when I wake up is get on the Peloton. So
Good recovery workout.
Yeah, I definitely use it a lot. I think it's just good, just for I use a lot. I do a lot of the HIIT workouts just to get my heart rate.
Who's your trainer of choice?
I like AT.
Yes,
AT.
That's the one. That's the one.
I would say in terms of just like when you don't feel like doing it, or he always gets your mind right. And I think a guy like me, I resonate a lot with him.
Yeah, he's got
drill
that
sergeant. I call him drill sergeant.
I call him coach. I call him coach because he gives that coach mentality.
It feels like it too.
Yeah.
I would be remiss if I didn't ask you, how's the family heading into the football season?
They're excited, man. They're excited. Yeah. I think they're more excited, for us to get just a solid schedule. The training camp schedule sucks, but once we get a solid schedule and we get something to look forward to every week, which is Sunday, Thursday, Monday night game, I think it's a great thing for the family. I think we're a football household, so the fall is the best time of the year for us. We get the weather changing out here. Wife's going crazy about that. She already wants to start putting in our Halloween decorations and stuff, getting ready for the fall. But I think, the family's very happy. Things are going great.
Great.
They travel with you to away games at all, or they usually
not too many. I think maybe this year because we have a couple good ones, but not in the past. But we'll see. I mean, he's at the age where it's kind of probably a little bit easier to travel with him. But before then, he was all over the place.
Yeah, you traveling with kids is no joke.
No joke.
Oh, by the way, did you like the state fair?
Yeah,
you said you went.
I thought it was nice. There was a lot of walking, but it was nice.
What day did you go?
Way bigger than I thought. Ate a bunch of stuff.
What day did you go?
Today.
Today, nice.
Just came not too long ago. Ate way too much stuff I shouldn't have ate, but got a nice little weekend to get my body back right in shape.
I love it. Well, thank you so much again for your time. Everybody go root on Josh Metellus. Bigger role this year, contract year. So we're rooting for you to just ball out and go get that bag at the end of the season. But
appreciate it.
Until next time, everybody, Skol Vikings.
Thank you.